Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's session of LA Web Professionals. This is our June 2026 meeting. We are happy to have you join us. For those of you who are new to the platform, new to our group, thank you for joining in. We'd love to hear in the chat how you came about to find us. Did you get notification from social media, from an email, from a friend or colleague, or from a community group posting? Just let us know how you found out about the event. On behalf of myself, Anissa Barton-Thompson, and our partner in crime, Daniel Kramer, who is the founder of the group. Say hi, Daniel.
Hi everyone.
We just want to welcome you again and thanks for joining us. We'll be posting some notes in the chat, references, resources, whatever is helpful to the group. And again, this is a group for all of us. So this isn't just our presenter and us, it is all of us together. So we love to get your feedback as we're going through the presentation. Please put your notes in or your questions in the chat. Darvill, our special guest presenter this evening, is going to be answering your questions as he goes through the presentation or towards the end of the presentation. So we'll hold off and we're going to ask everybody to stay muted until such time as we have the open Q&A. And then after the presentation's done, we'll go into our quick raffle and then we'll be good to go for the evening. So I just want to say thank you again for joining. And I'm going to go ahead and spotlight Darvill Rodriguez. Darvill, take it away.
Hi everyone. My name is Darvill. I am an Adobe ambassador, and I've been an Adobe ambassador for the last 4, maybe 5 years now. So specifically for Adobe Express, Firefly, and Premiere Mobile. So if you have any questions or if you want to collaborate on something in the future, you can scan this QR code. You can follow my socials, and I'm usually active there. But yeah, so I currently live in Honolulu, Hawaii, but I was actually living in Los Angeles for 12 years, but I just decided to make the move here because, it's paradise to me. So, but yeah, so I am a creative marketing professional. I used to work for Google and YouTube back in the day, but I decided to go solo. So now I do a lot of kind of small businesses and kind of like helping them grow and whatnot. So a lot of the times being part of the Adobe Ambassador program, I actually discovered that I'm actually an educator myself. So I've been kind of enjoying like doing the talks like this and doing speaking sessions. And that's taken me to like different places, through Adobe, but also I do it on my own as well. So here in Hawaii, I'm trying to bring more of kind of like that, bigger and mainland energy. We call it mainland, like America mainland here. So if you hear me refer mainland, that's what I meant. So yeah, a lot of the small businesses here kind of need like that support and whatnot. So I've just been trying to educate them and kind of Adobe's been kind enough, and it's been super useful for me to kind of just teach them and through Adobe. So yeah, so today we are going to be talking about, oh, forgot the slide already. So this is kind of some of this work that I've done in the past. I do also do my own art. So I do a lot of like whimsical, out of this world, like surreal type of artwork, as you can see right there with the dragons. So I like turning my everyday, just day-to-day scenes to essentially like whimsical, like, like the dune one. Obviously the sand dune worm is not real. Obviously the dragons are not real either, but I kind of like, it's just kind of a creative outlet for me. And yeah, so today we're going to be focusing mainly on, Adobe Express. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Adobe Express. I like to kind of think of it as my marketing slash creative team in my back pocket. So as I'm always on the go, I still do travel a lot. And a lot of the times I just use my phone to edit my content. I'm also a content creator. And yeah, so Adobe Express is kind of like you can create content on brand. I'll show you later, and you can access it via the web, and you can also get the app. It's available on your phone and iPads. But yes, so kind of another fun thing is you could schedule posts directly in Adobe Express, and I believe they have a partnership with TikTok. And once we go dive in later, I'll show you kind of like this thing called TikTok Symphony Assistant, where it's like basically AI kind of helping you figure out what's trending on TikTok, find trending music and whatnot as well. So moving on, so kind of just give you like a high level of what Adobe Express is for business. You can create your own custom models. bulk create and generate. Like you can create lock templates. So it's a very collaborative environment for teams if you're working on teams. So you can put your controls. You can also present directly within Adobe Express. I'm actually presenting in Adobe Express right now, and I made all the slides in Adobe Express as well. But one of my favorite things about Adobe Express is the interoperability. So essentially what that means to me is that if you have Creative Cloud subscription, you basically can just upload your files directly within Adobe Express as well. Like for example, like I was working on this photo the other day and it's from Photoshop and I just sent it directly within Adobe Express. So if you make edits with that Photoshop file, and it will automatically reflect in your Adobe Express files as well. So for example, if you just change the color, then it'll be automatically reflected in Adobe Express as well. Some of my favorite Adobe Express kind of features is removing background. A lot of the times, like, I'm doing like brand photos for like a client, and then I noticed that I needed, the background was like not the best. So I just remove the background and change it up. I like using the creating QR code as well, and then the resizing. And of course, the Gen AI capacity powered by Firefly is super awesome in Adobe Express as well. And yep, so I like using the quick captions as well, and then you also get access with like Adobe Stock and Adobe Music within Adobe Express as well. And oops, not working. There you go. And yeah, so if any of you folks know like any nonprofit people, or like if you're working for nonprofits, qualified nonprofits get premium access within Adobe Express as well. So if you want to share that information to someone, please feel free. This is a QR code. I'll give you guys a couple seconds, but yeah, all they need to do is basically sign up with Adobe Express with their nonprofit email, and they'll be able to get premium access, meaning they get access to like more premium features. Like for example, they have like extra like like icons, or what you will call this, like pictures and like downloadable assets and whatnot. All right, and without further ado, I'm going to switch to currently demo. Oh, sorry, I think I just saw Kathy trying to scan the QR code. Here you go. I'll go right back. Sorry, I just
And that's
noticed in the corner of my eye.
I dropped it in the chat too for anybody else that needs.
Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to just go into demo mode. And kind of, if you guys have questions, just, drop it in the chat as Anissa mentioned earlier. We'll get to it at the end of the presentation. All right, give me one moment. I'll just go over here. Okay, where is that going? All right, here we go. So it's already in full screen. I'll just like what's happened. So if you go to new.express.adobe.com, this is going to be kind of like your homepage. So you can see to the left, you just have like, this button right here that you could toggle and you could get started. Again, it's very like content forward, like it's set up so you get like kind of like inspirations, or kind of teaches you to be like, are you going to create your own custom stuff? Are you going to create an Instagram post for the square or landscape portrait, etc.? So kind of just run that down for you guys real quick. And then you could, another one of my favorite things is the quick actions. So you can actually generate a full on presentation within Adobe Express just by clicking generate presentation. And you can actually upload files to it, and then it'll automatically incorporate that into the presentation that's being generated. So if you're kind of feeling stuck, I like using this. Like, I'm just like, oh, wait, I already did this presentation before. I want something different, like just slightly different. And you're not like feeling super creative. We all have those days when we're not like, on point, but it happens. But yeah, so you can use this generate presentation. It'll prompt you because it's powered by the AI system within Adobe Express as well. As I mentioned earlier, remove background, generate QR code, collage vehicle. You can even do like logo makers. Like if, for example, if you're coaching a small business and they're not like super familiar with design, or if you're not a designer yourself, it can help you create like, prompt like logos instead of just using like, ChatGPT, hey, make me a logo, So this is like a little more customizable. Like you can create your own brands. You can add your brand colors, your typography, and all that fun stuff. All right, so for today's demo, I actually wanted to focus on just to kind of show you guys the AI system as well, because it's still in beta right now. I'm not sure everybody has access to it yet, but I'm pretty sure, I think they're starting to roll out more. So when you toggle this button, it will toggle the AI assistant, which means you can just talk to it directly, kind of like, Claude and ChatGPT, but it's within Adobe Express. It will kind of give you all these templates. Adobe Express actually has thousands and thousands of readily available templates that anyone can just have access to. So for example, like this one right here, this is a little trippy. It's kind of, making my vertigo there. But you could talk to Dev Express. For example, you're asking it, oh, I need to make a social post or a poster for a specific campaign. You could just put all your information, but you can also click edit image here and you can upload your own. Like you could even turn your photo into a professional headshot in just a couple of clicks, and you could change the style. So it's not, it's very like, it's super powerful. And again, it's powered by Adobe Firefly. So that's kind of the AI assistant. So we're that note, we're gonna start going to our actual demo. So today we are gonna be working on a brand called Birch and Balsam. So it's a food truck. And today we're gonna be creating a couple of marketing assets, mainly focused for social media. So as I mentioned earlier, you just click start here and then you get started. And I'm gonna do like a square pose right here and then kind of just running you to kind of my buttons right to the left. You could add your media by adding content, elements, charts, and grids. You can even use Gen AI, as I mentioned earlier. You could have your text. You could upload your files and whatnot. You can access your stuff. You can build brand libraries. That's what I'm going to show you later on. So for this specific one, I want to upload a background because I've been working on this background. I really like this color. So you could also change the color of your background right here easily. You can do it with transparent if you and work for PNGs or not. So for today, as I mentioned, we're going to be working with this brand called Birch and Balsam. I'm going to access my branding library right here by clicking brands and click on Birch and Balsam. Okay, so there's all these new things are here. So as you can see right here, you can see your logos, you can see your colors, you can see your fonts and graphics and whatnot. So in this case, I'm gonna access my files. There's this logo that I like. I'm gonna click this logo. As you can see right here, remember I mentioned to you guys earlier about interoperability and how this is actually designed in Illustrator. And as you can see right here, it's got this link icon right here, like a link asset icon. So that usually means that it is a file that is within another Creative Cloud product, which is this for this case, it's Illustrator. So if I do change the color, like, it's red in the middle right now, if I change that to pink within Illustrator, it'll automatically be reflected in Adobe Express as well, specifically for this file right here. So I'm going to leave that there. And I'm also going to upload, where did it go? So upload this picture of a soy sauce with spoon with soy sauce. I don't know. So, and then if you click on it, you could easily just click remove background right here. And then you just let it like load for a bit and voila, saves you all the time that you can instead of manually doing it. So I'm just gonna put that right there for now. And I'm gonna move this here. Just leave that there for now. And I am also going to upload another one of those background things because I like to do things just this way to kind of just show you guys for the sake of this presentation. We're gonna duplicate that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna put that in the corner right here. And so I like doing it this way because it allows me to use generative AI kind of like within the same background color scheme already. So I'm just gonna click insert object and I'm gonna do like grilled fish on a plate because it's dinner time and I'm getting hungry. Actually, 3 o'clock here. I thought I was in LA for a second. It was in LA time. And then you can adjust the brush size right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of draw like this general shape that I want it to come out to be. And then I'm just gonna click insert and you let the rainbow wheel kind of just think for a second. Again, this is powered by Adobe Firefly, so you might have to do a couple of like iterations or a couple of tries to get what you want, but it does work. So, there's a grilled fish. There's also this one. Again, it will give you like different styles and variations. Like if you want like animated, or I'm looking more for like a real one. So let me just do another like load right here. Wait that for a second. I don't know my internet. Of course, when I do demos, my internet slows down, right? That is just usually the case with technology. Okay, I kind of like this one, so I'm gonna just keep that one and close this. As you can see, you could just scale the generated image as big as you want, or you can even smooth it around. So I'm gonna leave that there for now, and I'm gonna go do the same thing right here. Insert object. I'm gonna do like chopsticks on a napkin. Kind of the key here is kind of just like trying to be descriptive as you can. So again, this is kind of just my methods. People probably have better methods out there. This is just how I do things. And again, just for the sake of the presentation, I'm just gonna, load that real quick. Pick the first one. Don't worry, I have the final products that look much better than this. Trust me. It's just for the presentation that I'm kind of just giving you guys. All right, so there's this one. I'm gonna just keep that one for now. And then I'm kind of just gonna close that and I'm gonna do the same thing with here, do build vegetables. Can't spell today on a plate. So then let's do this. Right. And press insert. Okay, so far so good. Sometimes with AI, you never really know what you get, but I know it works, but sometimes you just have to keep trying. So let's just let that load. So let's see. This one gave me like a little bit more like animated to me look, but it's not the look I'm going for right now. But just to kind of like have more time for questions and whatnot, I'm just gonna click the next one that shows up. Okay, this one looks better. Okay, that looks good. Perfect. So we're gonna keep that one and close it, and then we're just gonna move that around. And then I'm gonna just remove the background for them as well. So kind of give me all the space that I need. That one's still loading. And if you can see right here that if you click on your actual project, that there's actually the edit, like kind of like page right here now. So it gives you like the resize, animate all, quick replaces, and translates. You can actually translate all your text directly in Adobe Express as well. You can also bulk create. And so I'm just gonna put text right here. And my text, I'm gonna say this coming soon because we are a new food truck coming soon in the LA area. So I'm just gonna put that right there. And another fun thing that you can do in Adobe Express is actually add generate text effects. So I'm gonna do it right here, just to kind of show you guys. It gives you kind of like suggestions, like for example, like a balloon, like a diamond glitter, or gold drips, etc. But for this one, I kind of want to do like splattered soy sauce. Kind of, I just think that it just matches this branding right here. So I'm just gonna do splattered soy sauce, and then it's kind of the same with the other generated AI stuff here. It just gives you like a couple of options at first. So maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a good one right off the bat. Okay, that one looks kind of cool, but maybe a little more simpler. Maybe this one. Okay, I think we're gonna go to that one right here. So as you can see, if you use the generate text effects, it'll automatically just, gives it a little extra pop, right? Instead of just like another text that's right there. So we'll do that. Sorry, I'm just letting it load right now. As you can see, it's like slowly transforming it. I think it's my internet connection because we are getting high winds here in Hawaii. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that here for now, and then I'm gonna complete this by adding another text right here and kind of just put the launch date. Let's just say May 21st, 27. I'm gonna put that right there. I'm gonna just use this color, and then we can do red. That looks good. Okay. Oh no, what happened to my text effect? It didn't show. Okay, let me just redo that one. Uh-oh. Okay, it is not working right now. It says retry. I don't know what happened. It's probably my internet connection, so sorry about that, guys. Let's try this one. Please retry again later. Okay. Well, we're just gonna leave that there for now. And kind of the next step of this is, so right now we have like a finished project. I can use this for my Instagram account, for like my Instagram feed posts. But if you go up here or right here too, it's a shortcut here right now too. You can just click resize. And in that case, I want to, it gives you kind of the options whether you want it for social media, for ads, for video, photo, document, web page, print, or any marketing materials. But for this one, I'm going to do an Instagram story post and you can just click duplicate and resize and it'll automatically just change that and give you options. See, like all your assets are just all here now. So I'm gonna go with this one for now and keep that one. And as you can see, it automatically just makes a different like page with the same graphics and whatnot. All right, so I'm gonna just click this and just readjust a little bit. Oops. You can also lock layers, and if you can't really see it, because I think I should probably put my that away. you can see that it automatically create like the layers for you, and that's not all clickable. So I'm gonna just lock this real quick. Just press lock so I can move more freely. So I'm gonna do this. Just do this real quick. Put this here. Move my fish over here. Now I'm actually getting really hungry staring at this fish. It's like staring me in the face or something, right? All right, so we're just gonna do that and that. So right now we have a Instagram feed post and an Instagram story post as well. But why stop there, right? Let's take it to the next level. So in Adobe Express, as you can see, you can animate all, but I kind of just want to animate a couple of things in here. So I'm going to animate the logo just to kind of draw more attention to it. So all you have to do is click on the animation and it gives you this different animation styles like wobble, like a circle, or like a drip. So I think I'm going to go with the drop or maybe the bungee because it looks like, the logo is going into the soy sauce, really making it splatter. It'll make more sense when you see the final product. So I'm just gonna go with that one for now. And look at that, it automatically turned it into a video. So Adobe Express actually is also built in or equipped with good video editing tools. So as you can see, I just clicked the animate and actually gave me like the timeline editing, very similar to like Premiere Pro or like your other editing. And you can see that they're all layered as well, so you could just easily change them. And I like doing it this way just because it's actually more efficient. I don't have to leave. I like thinking of Adobe Express as like my go-to, as I mentioned earlier, creative marketing team in just my back pocket. And continuing on that, I'm gonna make this drift, or maybe should I do wobble? Let's just do wobble for fun. All right. So now that gave you like a 5 second like video that you could also upload as an Instagram reel or for your TikToks and whatnot. But as I mentioned earlier, you also get access to um, Adobe stock images and videos. So we're gonna look for a food truck video here. Food truck. Let's just type food truck and just find one that you kind of like and just go with it. So let's see. I'm gonna try to go for let's just do this one just because it's a layer on canvas or it's in the queue. So I'm just gonna do it's the new scene because I want to edit it because it's not like I can just click fill video right here. And as you can see, it added like a new scene right there. So this is our video from the beginning. You just click play, you see your animations, and then you could just go, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. So we're just going to do that for the sake of the presentation, and kind of you could also trim your videos. You could also cut, the time if you want it to be shorter and whatnot. And as I mentioned, you could also just go here and add text to it as well. And I'm just going to say first, let me just change the color real quick so you guys can see it. I cannot type today to save my life. First 21 customers get free appetizer. I mean, I'm in designing this in mind that this is going to be a presentation, like a promo for when we open. Free. Okay, so I'm just going to move that around right here. And you could also access and add content. You could do elements. You could do like graphics or shapes. For this one, I'm just going to do not a square. Or you could also just do add effects to it. You could do shadows so to make it pop a little bit more, or you could also just do shapes. You could do that, or you could do elongated one, or it just really depends on what you're going for. So I'm gonna go with this one and kind of just expand that. Here we go. Oops. Here we go. So I'm just gonna make that little smaller and bigger. There you go. So we're just gonna put that there and put it right here, maybe in the corner. And I'm gonna add another logo from our branding. So I'm kind of thinking like this one right here. I think I'm gonna do the pink one, but maybe the pink. Oh, no, I don't like the pink. We're gonna change that one. Let's see. The branding. I'm going to do. I'm just gonna go with this one. Put that kind of like right there, just so we could keep our branding all the same. Again, I'm kind of just like like not rushing, but like just kind of doing this for the sake of the demo and the time. So I'm gonna put that there or maybe up here. So now we have a full on video. So we play that. And then you could also add like transitions if you wanted to. Like for example, I'm gonna add a transition right here. So you could do dip to black. Uh-oh, what happened there? So transition. I'm gonna do slide. And then we go there and just press this. And ta-da! You have a video that you can upload for Instagram Reels or your TikTok or for your stories for that matter. So kind of just to save us time, I created the final products right here. So as you can see, if I go to this one, you can see all the different variations, different sizes from the same, for the same one. So for example, this is the Instagram story one. And uh-oh, what happened there? We closed it. Okay, so we'll just do that. And then cancel that. My bad, I accidentally clicked bulk create. So this is the Instagram story version. This is the Instagram in feed pose. This is a portrait one for like a print size. This is for, I believe, Facebook. And this one, it is another for a print. I think it's a card. And this is for a banner. Again, as you can see, it's kind of just, it's easier to stay within the same kind of like, branding and look when you all just have access to it right in front of you. And then this is kind of the video, which is the better version of what I just did in front of you guys. So we'll just go back to the beginning. Here we go. And I'll just press play. All right. So you could also add music to it, but again, I have my headphones on so you cannot hear the music. But you also could just like enhance speech as well. If you have a talking aspect to your video, it is super helpful, especially for me, like a creator that I do content creation for again Adobe as well and for other people. But a lot of the times when I'm filming in public, there's always like that random sound or like someone talking behind me that I don't realize that I'm filming. So that really saves me a lot of time in editing and whatnot. So for me, it's all about like efficiency. Adobe Express is really that, that tool that actually just allows me to be more efficient. And as I mentioned, let's see, I was going to show you guys another thing. I'm just going to go back, close that out. I'm going to go back to the pages and kind of go back to this Instagram post. Adobe Express has all these add-ons that you can, easily access by clicking the add-ons right here. So one of my couple of my favorite ones is Attention Insights. So you can just click open right here and they'll pop it to like, the right-hand side. And for example, so Attention Insight is a tool that I like to use to kind of see like, it's an AI tool that helps kind of like understand what attracts attention. So I'm going to just click a print or marquee material. So I'm going to do just marketing material so that it basically analyzes it for you and it shows you how effective or like where the audience's kind of like eye goes to. So again, technology, right? It says take 60 seconds. As we're doing that, we're gonna kind of look at other additional add-ons that are right here. So you can do like LinkedIn ads, pixel enhancers, generating gen voice, your Google ads, and as I mentioned earlier, TikTok Symphony, which I will be kind of slightly demoing for you guys after this thing loads. And then as you can see, you can access like Google Photos with Zed, and then you have your, your Dropbox, SharePoint, etc. So as you can see right here, this is where, okay, so you can see that telling you like the green is kind of like low, yellow is like, on the medium side, and then red is where it is. So we can see like red on the logo, which is good for us because we want people to know that we are Birch and Balsam since we're a new food truck entering the LA scene. We all know the food trucks are very big in LA. And yeah, and then we have red right here in the coming soon area as well, which I think is just like, okay, we're letting people know that we're going to be coming soon. So that's a success for me. So I like that so far. And the next one I wanted to show you guys is color blindness. So as you can see right here, okay, I'll close that up. And then the color blindness. Uh-oh, why is it not loading? Give me 1 second. It's not loading right now. So color blindness. Here we go. So color blindness is another kind of like to add-on tool within Adobe Express. You can access also free. So right here, it gives you kind of like options and like the different color blindness types. I mean, I wasn't super aware of this until I actually learned about color blindness within Adobe Express and through my friend Nikta actually. She kind of like turned me on to this. And I didn't realize that there's this many different color blindness. So I kind of just like to create inclusive content for people. As you can see right here, forgive my pronunciation, is oh, okay, protonomally. So this is what they would see, like the people would see if they have this condition. But this is our design. So I just like it to kind of like, make it like, more accessible for people that with color blindness. Because I do have a couple of friends that actually have color blindness, and I never really realized like, how they see things. Like for example, I'll be saying, oh, that's red right there. And then they cannot figure out what is red, right? So this kind of just gives you an insight. And I just think it's a really cool thing, especially if, your audience is, have that color blindness condition. So yeah, so this is Archimatopes. Excuse me, I'm not very good. This is like complete color blindness. So yeah, that's kind of like the add-ons in Adobe Express. And I'm gonna just show you guys how to do the TikTok Symphony Assistant because the TikTok is still out there and everyone's still on it. And it's actually, here we go, TikTok Symphony. And you click on it, it gives you kind of like what it is. And it tells you if it's free or some of them you have to do pay. But I believe the premium access, you get like a lot of them for free. So it kind of opens up a chat dialogue right here. For example, so we have the video right now, and then I can just talk to it. So for example, if I'm looking for TikTok music, I can just click find TikTok music and do that. Here we go. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm just like, show me trending music. So then it's gonna generate it for you. It has access directly to the TikTok music library. So for right now, these are some of the trending tracks that are perfect for setting mood for your TikTok content. So it kind of analyzes your content as well. So we get summer vibes, tropical oasis, etc. So this kind of eliminates that if this music is going to violate the TikTok terms, because that's something like super, like something that's happening in TikTok a lot, especially for content creators or businesses, is they're using music that is not, licensed by TikTok or the commercial library or commercially safe. So, and then what I've also done here is if you're kind of like, stuck somewhere and feeling like not super creative or you're kind of stuck, you don't know what to do for your next content, you can also talk to the TikTok Symphony Assistant and just be like, give me a script for a food truck video. So let's just do that right now. And then we wait. It's a lot of waiting, but it's worth it. So for example, if you're not like a strong copywriter or script writer, it kind of just gives you like an idea. For example, it gives you a hook. Obviously, the hook is super important to get people interested in the video and keep them watching past the 3-second mark. So for example, this one, it gave me a hook. Colorful food truck parked in bustling urban setting, serving a variety of delicious dishes. The line, it even kind of categorizes to you between like, like the on-screen text or like the voiceovers or the text overs is what they call it. And yeah, so you can do all that within Adobe Express. And then you can even it even shows you like what's trending on TikTok, and it'll also give you kind of like, again, if you're feeling like you want to be started, able to write specific information on scholarly training on TikTok. Okay, I think it might be my internet connection. I'm not sure, but normally it'll just, it'll show you like these little things. I think, yeah, I'm not sure if it's my internet. So, oh, here it is. There's this one. I asked it to show me some TikTok ad examples. So you can see there's one for Grow Us. Then you have the ones right here for DT Cosmetics. Yeah, so on and so forth. So that's kind of like the TikTok Symphony Assistant, and that's kind of usually how I like to use it if I do use it. And yeah, so then let's see. Let's do share. I'll show you guys how to do a social post or planning your social posts. Share the, so you could click share the social right here. As I mentioned, you could directly post to your TikTok and to your social media accounts in Adobe Express as well. So for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to show you how to schedule your posts in Adobe Express. So for example, it's kind of loading right now. If you're looking for, I'm not doing any of it because I unlinked my account because I was going I was changing something. So you could also do like, captions right here. You can generate your captions. And right now it's kind of just uploading the video. You can either schedule or publish now directly. So you can see right here. So I'm going to do schedule. You can do it as a draft, and then we can write a caption. Sorry, it's still loading right now. So, all right, we're just going to wait for that. So let's see. It's just loading. So, you can do your captions, your hashtags, you can do your apps right here, your tags, and you can insert emojis and whatnot. So for the schedule, you could just basically pops up a calendar, which I really like as a visual person. Sometimes I mix up dates when I type them. So I like to actually see them. Like, for example, we're going to just do, maybe we'll schedule this for, since we're launching, maybe let's do a Friday or a Thursday. You could even schedule the time. So I'm going to do like, maybe let's do it in the morning. So 9:43 a.m. Click on that. So as you can see, it's just shows you the preview of the video. And then come to our opening day here at KCC Farmers Market. So then you can even like generate captions as well. You can generate a new caption. You can rewrite, which is something that I really like to do, especially after a long day of like typing emails and whatnot. So like rewriting. So you can either shorten it or lengthen it. Let's just do a generate new caption just for fun because it's there readily available for us. So you can see it added more details to it. You could either refresh it and try again, but we're just gonna click insert, and you could actually set this as a draft, and you could just do you can also reorganize your posts. Like for example, if you're doing a carousel post for Instagram, you could always just reorganize them here as well. So then I'll just add that to my draft. And yep. So that's pretty much how you share your content within Adobe Express as well. And on that note, I need to find you guys back. I lost the pictures show meeting. There you go. There I am.
You're here.
All right. I was trying to figure out how to go back to it. It's like, where did it go? But yep, if you guys have any questions or anything, please do let me know.
So far, no questions in the chat, but anyone who has questions, if you want to have Darvill go through any particular part of his process and maybe redemo, you have time, so feel free to slow down a little. If you want to
Oh, yeah.
deep dive into it a little bit more. The resources that you shared for the add-ons, I've added into the chat, so everyone is
Awesome.
able to go and explore those on their own as well. I am very appreciative of the fact that you added in the accessibility components, because that is super important for people to recognize and know that it's a requirement essentially for any public facing, especially if you're doing this for business, whether it's, government, public health, education, whatever it is. So thank you
Yeah,
for sharing that.
of course.
Any questions? Anyone wants to chime in? Let's see.
Don't be shy. I don't bite.
And Laura Lee says, thanks, Darvill, for the fascinating information. There is so much more to express than I realized. Exactly. It is
And it really is, though. There is a lot
really,
more to it than. So as I mentioned earlier about like the interoperability, it kind of like operates in like the whole Adobe kind of like ecosystem, right? So a lot of people always ask me, what's the benefit of like, switching to Adobe Express over some, other competitors? I always tell them that it's just if you're already living or like, doing your work in the Adobe Creative Cloud ecosystem, it's just much easier to integrate everything into Adobe Express and kind of like simplify the processes. For example, like if you're working on a small team and you may have one designer, or if you even have, the budget for a designer, and this is kind of like makes it easier and simplifies everything for people, and just kind of like you kind of feel like your own designer at times, right? So I have a lot of clients that I help coach here in Hawaii, and they're just like, oh my God, thank you for showing me that. Now I'm actually just able to edit my logos and kind of like without bothering you or bothering people, right? So, at times, especially for small businesses, there's that, there's just like those resources are limited. So this actually solves that problem.
okay. How
Yeah.
many brands do you typically manage within your setup when you're working with multiple clients?
So I tried to do like I do a cap. It used to be 20, but now I do like 12. I just felt like a lot of the times I wasn't able to focus and give my full attention. So a lot, like especially now that kind of like the the content creation aspect of my business has actually allowed me to basically give more of my time for free. So I've done like pro bono stuff, especially businesses here in Hawaii. A lot of the times they don't have the budget, and they kind of like they understand the marketing mentality here is a little different because it's very like tourist centric, right? So a lot of people come here for tourism and whatnot, so they're really relying on the tourist aspect of the business. But at the times like when we've had like our Adobe events here, like the create now stuff or like marketing materials made easy for people, they don't actually, like, they didn't understand it quite as much. So like they don't want to put a lot more money than they have to, unless they really have to.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So here's another interesting lead in. If you don't mind, maybe you can take a moment to kind of give us a quick demonstration of this.
Mhm.
You have a sample of several posts that you created from this. How could we take some of this information? Maybe someone shared this collection with you, and you want to take that and turn that into your brand kit. How would you go about
Yeah.
approaching?
Here, actually, I will show you right now.
Awesome.
So, so you go. I'm gonna just go home real quick for now. Well, my home go to the home screen. Get all the messages out of here. So you can see right here, if you click on brands, again in your main kind of like toolbar, I like to call it toolbar, you could just create brand. For example, right here, I have all these like so I'm gonna just give you like a quick run of the brands that I have right now. I have this tea brand that I was working with. You can use the logos and the colors and the body and the graphics and the graphics and whatnot. So I'll just go back one real quick and then just kind of go back to brands. And all you have to do is create create brand right here. So you could do manual setup, or again, this is in beta. I'm not sure this is available to everyone right now. Extract like brand from upload. So you could just kind of get that. So we're gonna do manual setup for now. And for example, we're just gonna do Aloha collection or something. Collection. So this is the brand, and you could choose where you store. You could put in personal storage, or you can create like different project folders to keep everything like accessible or in one place. So I'm just gonna create that. So it's an overview right here. It gives you kind of like, it's asking you to add logos, colors, fonts, and graphics. It's very like, it's got the prompts right there. So you can easily just upload everything and it kind of guides you as you go. So let's just do click add for the overview. So it gives you, let's do a logo real quick. So for example, I'm going to add this right here and then it'll automatically just pop up right here. So again, this is just, and then it kind of also like the AI aspect of it gives you kind of like access to like a create color palette. As, again, a lot of people that are not designers are kind of like, oh, how do I get my own color palette? There's ways to do it, but here it actually just, you can automatically just create a palette basing from the logo that you uploaded, which is a good start. But then you could also always add, you can always kind of like change it as your brand evolves. So kind of what I've noticed is that a lot of people are afraid of kind of like change, like changes in the future because they think that, once you create like a brand that you're stuck with it. I mean, you are stuck with it, but then you also can modify, right, and change it as you go. So, and that's totally okay. A lot of the people that I work with get like kind of scared, like, oh my God, like I'm already paying you to do this. Maybe we should, they put the extra pressure. But then yeah, so then you could add the fonts. And Adobe Express Access also has it's integrated with Adobe fonts, so you have access to all the Adobe fonts that you're very familiar with. So for example, I'm gonna just add that one, and then I'll populate it right there. Don't ask me about font stuff because I forget the names a lot. I just know what they look like and I look for them. So yeah, you can do, and you can just keep adding as many fonts as you want. I'm gonna do just random one right here just to kind of show you guys. So there you go. So it gives you like options. And then, so for example, like for this one, like Allegria, it gives you like the different options. So once you kind of like put that in your brand kit, it'll be just your brand library will be good. Then we'll just add graphics. For example, I'm just gonna put this right here. There you go. So you could just edit and it gives you an overview of everything. And then kind of just going back to the project, I'm just gonna do right here. So you can see it, if you're doing Instagram Square posts as well, it gives you kind of like different kinds of templates that you can, as I mentioned, there's like thousands and thousands of fairly available templates ready to use in Adobe Express. and most of them are included in the free plan. And just kind of going back to the brand, since we just created that brand library, it automatically populated to the Aloha collection. As you can see right here, the logo, the colors, the fonts, and the graphics. So while we're on that, since we have more time, I'm gonna kind of show you guys the quick action of how to make like the logo maker, which is like a beta thing here. It's just like a fun thing that I like to do as well. So since we're at the Aloha collection trend, I'm just gonna do Aloha collection. Oops, I really cannot type today, I'm sorry. And then a slogan, I don't know, we'll just say, welcome to paradise. It's very cliche, but that's what's coming to my head right now. Welcome to paradise. So then you just click next. So then you can even choose icons. Again, if you don't have a graphic designer or a designer that you're working with, this is kind of just like a simple solution that you could do. So let's see, palm tree. Palm tree. There you go. Oops. All right. So let's try with this one. I think I like this one. Yeah, let's do this one. So then it also kind of gives you like kind of different styles of logos or variations of logos that's been created before. So it kind of gives you that as well. So kind of like the style of how you want it to look. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with something like this. Customize. Right. So then it automatically just creates it for you. Again, you can customize this as you go as well. But right now, we are waiting again. Waiting. Seems to be the waiting game today. Sorry,
I
I don't know what's
noticed.
happening. I don't know what's my internet is like, of course, when you have a demo, I just decided to do that. So as you can see right here, we have our brand name and we have our slogan. So, it gives you could do this one, it gives you like a couple of variations. So that's kind of fun. Kind of like that. So again, if you're not a designer yourself, this is something that's super useful. And then you can also just share it, or you can edit more of it, or you could just download it. So that's kind of the logo maker. So that's what we're on.
What I love about that is it gives you the option to ditch the icon if you just wanted a typeface-based logo. What I didn't see is if they give you the option to upload your own icon. So maybe that might be a feature in the future.
You can always upload your icons, as I mentioned earlier. You just click the upload, right here. You can still see it. You just click this, like when you're in a project, like for example, like this one right here. You could just add your media. You could do photos, videos, sound effects, and whatnot. So you could always just add it there, and you could upload files as well. You can even upload like Photoshop files and Illustrator files, like in Express as well. So,
and I believe you're able to take the files that you're creating in Express and actually open them up in Illustrator and Photoshop as well. So that round trip editing is always available.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, the interoperability thing it really saves me so much time. Like for example, I upload some of my artwork that you see back here, and then I do like slight change, like on a filter or something. It acts as long as it's like uploaded as a linked asset within Adobe Express, you'll be able to kind of change it up, and it'll automatically reflect. And just like another thing that I wanted to mention earlier is like a very team collaborative effort, right? So for example, I'll show you guys right now. So I can share this and kind of, I could share it to somebody and they could automatically just comment on everything. Like for example, my client was just like, oh, I want this logo to be a little smaller. Oh, I want this to be, a different color, whatnot. You can just click share and then add them to the program as well. And then they'll be able to actually, give you notes. It's kind of like, like Google Docs or Google presentation. So I really like that component of it too. It's because sometimes I'm just, again, as I'm gonna go, or I'm not like, I tell them that I don't have time right now, but if you can go in and like, change it up. So then I really like that. It's very collaborative and it saves me a lot. It saves everyone time.
Absolutely. And speaking of time savers, I think it's really valuable to point out to folks who may not be aware. Express also gives you the ability. So the same layout that you're seeing on the screen right now, that Darvill has, what is it, six different designs, 7 different designs based into the one file. But what you can do is actually take the designs that you have and then make alternate language versions of
Mm-hmm.
those as well. So that coming
Here,
soon might need to be listed in Spanish or in Japanese or Korean
here, let me
to reach a
show
broader
that to you
audience.
guys. Yeah, let me actually just demo that to you guys real quick.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna duplicate that page right here and click on this. Let's see, so you could just click the translate on the edit button. So you could select languages, like for example, Spanish. We'll do French and Japanese and Korean, and then there's like all these other languages, and always they're always improving and adding more languages to go. But for now, we're just gonna go with those four. And excuse me, and I just click translate.
And of course, it takes a minute, but
I know
it's
it
worth
does take a minute,
it.
but it will save you so much time. Trust me.
Mhm.
See, as you can see right here, it it basically selected everything for me. Like the seven things that you saw, like on the first row right here is English, right? And then this one's the rows in Spanish. It'll automatically also label it for you. For example, see, as you can see right here, Spanish Mexico, and then there's the French. So we'll just do click on that one so you guys can see all the effects, all the editing that you've added, all the design stuff that you want is there. So you can see this one is in Japanese,
Mhm.
and these ones are in Korean. This looks like a Netflix kind of like, teaser trailer thing
It
at this
does.
point.
It does.
Kind of like it. I mean, so that's kind of the translate feature. And so, yep.
Love it. I love it.
So yeah,
For
let's
those of
see.
you who are exploring doing your social posts in here, don't forget that not only can you make social posts, you can actually take the same themes and turn them into your YouTube thumbnails, your presentation covers, your actual presentations, as Darvill had actually started off using his presentation as an example. So I think it's really important to see the scope or the
Mhm.
flexibility and bringing everything into a centralized location so that you can make it as efficient and bring up your productivity as much as possible. So
Yep,
thank you.
I just saw right there. I just actually clicked present, and then this escape. So this is a presentation, obviously I created within Adobe Express, and I just click present, and voila. So it's so useful. So
Very.
again, if you guys have any other questions, I know we have more time, so I'm here.
Hannah makes a good note. She said you can upload a file and extract the brand from that
Hmm.
file
Yep,
and get in and
yep.
add it to your brand kit. So
Hmm.
that's super valuable. Nobody should be reinventing the wheel. You should be able to repurpose the assets that you have to make it a lot easier to keep track of everything that you're producing. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I
So for me, like as I mentioned earlier, it's like about like kind of like making everything efficient, right? Like we are all busy. We all have our passion projects. We all have our regular jobs. As I mentioned earlier, in this economy, everyone has like multiple things happening right now, and I really just think that Adobe Express is that program that actually just makes everything much like smoother and easier and like transition wise, and it's so user friendly. So
Yep.
I'm using the chat.
More points that we love when people contribute how they're utilizing it and connecting it to other tools.
Hmm.
Hannah just reminded us that you can do a batch upload for different types of
Hmm.
editions. So that makes it way more efficient. Bradley joined in with you can also link your Adobe Express to your Google Drive, your OneDrive, your Dropbox, all of the other cloud
All of
storage.
the above. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I kind of,
fantastic.
yeah, I just kind of like went through like in the add-ons again. You could click on this on the add-on, and then you just connect everything in there, make it easier for you. And kind of for the batch editing, it's super, like a lot of people, it's kind of hard to demo because it's a little finicky and you have to be like more precise to it. But I kind of just say it in words. Like the bulk rate, it's just you could upload like a spreadsheet file. Like for example, like what you saw earlier with the coming soon, like you can have like different messaging, and then it'll automatically just import all that. And then Express, the AI itself will just generate like I believe up to 99 like different like pages.
Yeah,
So for
In
99
just one
example,
pages.
file.
yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
it is 99 pages.
Mhm.
Mhm. And Hannah, thank you again. Also reminding for those of us who are in the education space, If you're a teacher and you have a classroom, whether it's an LMS or Google Classroom, that your students can also participate
Mhm.
and contribute or turn in assignments
Yep.
using Adobe
Yeah,
Express as well.
it's a different Express for education only, and on the side there's a tab called Classroom,
Mhm.
and student can see galleries and do everything with it.
Right, right. I know that with the recent Adobe and California State University system, the collaboration now Express is available to university students utilizing Canvas. And so that's a huge help because now people can start working on their presentations directly inside their classroom assignments, right from inside of Express. So that's super
Yeah,
helpful as well.
and I believe Express Premium is also, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, or might look into it, but I believe it's Express Premium is also free for educators as well. And I believe if you have a student email or like a teacher email, educator, EDU email, I think it also gives you Express Premium for free. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
depending, I
It's
mean,
limited.
it's limited for students
Right.
8 to 12 because they're not allowed to touch some stuff. So
Mhm.
it's a little different expressy, a
Mhm.
little limited, and it's a little confusing also because stuff is in different places a little bit. So if you have
Yeah.
to teach teachers with their Express, you have to log in, and it's a different UI a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
it's
Does
confusing.
anybody else have any questions? Anybody have anything that you want Darvill to demonstrate before we close out? Just giving everybody an opportunity. If not, you know how to contact him. You've got his Instagram. You can drop him a line. He's on LinkedIn as well.
Not super active on LinkedIn now. I kind of, since I left the corporate world, I was just like, I don't think I updated my LinkedIn in the last maybe 7 years. I know it's bad, but I'm admitting to it right now. So
Come
if
back
you
to
just,
LinkedIn. Your
I
clients are there
know
too.
it's, I no, it's crazy because everyone's like, you have so many connections on LinkedIn and you're not utilizing. I think I have like over 1,500 or 2,500 or something like that because I did a lot of our, back in my corporate days, I did a lot of the shows, like demos and whatnot, and also did the boothing. That everybody was like adding me on LinkedIn, and I did like account management and sales before too. So we kind of cold emailed people or message people on LinkedIn, and everyone's just like, you should totally come back and utilize all those because I have LinkedIn friends or not friends, connections from like all different sorts of like avenues of like life, like educators, like salespeople, like super techie people, or yeah, it's wild. Maybe I should one of these days if I find more time because I
Let me
can
come up
only
for air
handle.
first.
I know
Could look
exactly.
into
So
AI automation
Yeah.
yeah,
for managing all of
working
your
on it,
branding assets.
working on it,
And
I'm
honestly,
working
I've
on it.
been utilizing AI more and more to coordinate different types of activities where I'm still in control of the output and the
Mhm.
production, but to help me organize the things that need to be done. So there's always ways that you can utilize it without it necessarily taking over, the
Yeah.
creative aspect of things. So
Kind of like like another fun factor, like since we're with the AI situation and Express, right? If you guys haven't tried Adobe Firefly, it's also a really powerful tool, especially Firefly boards. Um, a lot of the stuff, some also Firefly. Some also Firefly. Oh, sorry, I was hearing
oh,
an echo.
go ahead.
Okay, I was just like, what was that? Oh, okay, we're
Yeah,
good.
you're good.
Okay, there it is. I was just like, wait a second, why am I hearing myself through a speaker right now?
Right.
So Firefly Boards has also like been useful for me. Again, I do a lot of photo shoots on site as well. So there is this thing called like virtual try-on, but also it's basically like a big inspiration board and that you can just keep adding and adding. Like there's endless possibilities to it. So it's been super helpful for me in the design stuff where I can create like mock-ups, like super easy mock-ups for clients and brands, but also have kind of like my inspiration board there and whatnot. And again, you could also directly send it to the other like Creative Cloud products, like, Photoshop or, Adobe Express. So for example, you created like a mock, you created a mock-up, and in Firefly, you could easily send that to Adobe Express as well and use that for like your social media posts or for other branding stuff as well. So if you haven't, definitely check out Adobe Firefly too.
Yep. Our last presentation last month with Kevin Stolmeyer, for those of you who missed it, I'll put a link in the chat in just a moment, but that was also a fantastic presentation. And he brought up a lot of great points to remind us about how to utilize a tool, but how to also not put too much into the expectations of what the AI is going to give you, and to continue to rely on your own creativity, which is awesome. That's something we all need as a reminder. So yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to say, Darvill, you did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again. We appreciate having you. We hope we will have you back again in future, because I know you got a lot more cool stuff to show.
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know. I'm around, especially if I have the time. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys found that useful. And, again, you know how to reach me, contact me. If I don't respond on LinkedIn super fast, you know why. I already told you. I'm slowly getting back there. But again, the social media, like my Instagram is usually where I'm more active, because I do a lot of stuff in social media. So I'm forced to be there in a good way. So, but yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. And just as an add-on, I know Hannah and I in the education space, we try to encourage people to continue to learn and continue to grow. And one of the ways that you can do that is looking at certifications. So she's dropped a link into the certifiedprofessional.adobe.com website for the Express certification for anyone who's interested. I did it. Hannah did it. Daniel, I think you did it at one point, or you did the early beta. And it's a really great way to make sure that you're caught up, that you're up on your skills, and that you're trying to stay engaged with what's available. So highly encourage folks to, even if you don't actually take the exam, to at least explore what's involved with it, because it is really helpful. Okay, so I think at this point, Daniel, I can turn it over to you, and you should be able to bring up our raffle for our closeout.
Fun stuff.
And I unmuted you too. Okay. Mike, good to see you. Brad, thanks for joining in and adding additional resources in the chat as well. Laura Lee, Martin, Bing. I don't know if that's Mr. or Miss Kegel. Steve, thank you for joining. Ivan, thank you for being here again. James and Kathy and Mike, appreciate you. Okay.
All right, how can I take this?
There we go. Okay, everybody drum roll, please. All right, I think that might be James. Congratulations, James.
Okay, James, send me your Adobe ID email and I'll set this up for you.
Sounds good. Are we just to one tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, and so he is the grand prize winner of Adobe Creative Cloud. I think that is the case. All right.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Well, it looks like we might have an early evening. So once again, thanks to Darvill. We appreciate you. Great presentation. Kathy's giving you thumbs up. Bradley's thumbs up. We're good. We appreciate it. Join us again. Are we doing July, or are we holding off until August?
I think we're gonna do just August.
Okay. So we're gonna have a little summer break. Y'all get out there, get some sun, get some beach, get some breeze. Enjoy your evenings for the next couple of weeks.
Go on the beach with Adobe Fresco.
Yeah, with fresco. Go make some nature scenes on your iPad while you're out enjoying some sunshine. And Hannah did put in also a link for Creative Pro Week, which is next week for those of you who might be interested in traveling out to Nashville.
But you can also join online.
Oh yeah, I forgot that it is online. Yeah, there's a split portion, so definitely take advantage of that. They've got fantastic presenters. Some of the presenters that you see at Adobe Max and even more at Creative Pro Week. So we appreciate them coming and participating and making that resource available. Andrew says I should present too. Yeah, probably not till later on in the year. I got to survive a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I want to have something where we can all like kind of play in it together and contribute and see what it's like to be in a collaborative space inside of Express. I know I asked Darvill at the beginning of the presentation, is there something where other folks that are in the meeting can join in? So let's think about things that we can do to play and get creative with the collaborative side of Express for future presentations, if that's cool with everybody.
I think like a fun one that you can do is like maybe like have a template of some sort and then have everybody remix it like all at once. I did a design week in Sacramento and last year I think the keynote speaking, but I had to say I asked like all 105 of them to remix the templates and submit it, and then we kind of just went over it, and everybody had like different interpretations and like kind of it was a fun kind of like, you know, it was like 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't know who this keynote at 8 a.m. in the morning, but I was over 100 people. It was really fun. So I just had like a QR code that I put on the presentation, and then I had some people scan it and then led directly to a remixable template, and it was really fun. Everybody, yeah, it was a good time.
That sounds fun. And then somebody else had asked me at a different one about almost like a virtual photo walk where people can pull their own collections and then share them in the group collaborative, and then everybody experiment with other folks' artwork to see what we come up with. And I think that would be kind of fun as well. James says, by the way, Darvill, that he really likes the nice art on the wall behind.
Oh, thanks. It's all my artwork, actually. I don't advertise it as much, but if you talk to me in a meeting, it's there. So I don't know if you were here in the beginning, I kind of do like, I like to turn my day-to-day scenes, like picture of myself, and essentially turn it into like the whimsical of this world one. Like this one was taken in Bainbridge Island somewhere in Seattle, and I was just like, this looks like a magical forest, and magical forest I turned it into. And this is actually a picture of me on a sand dune, I believe somewhere in the coast of Oregon, and it was like right around the same time Dune 2 was coming out, so I transformed it into like this Dune art. So yeah, just like it's like, you know, that picture of the astronaut line, it's like actually me, and then I just transformed it. Maybe that's another fun topic to talk about later on, because I use both Photoshop and Express and Firefly, of course. So.
We could use Express and then use Firefly's mood boards to create our dream scenarios of careers if we weren't doing what we're doing now, and envision ourselves in space and all the different places.
That would be a fun, I think, group activity for you guys too. Yeah, because you could all do it in Firefly board. So.
Brad says maybe team up and remix each other's art, then switch teams and remix it again. Oh man, that sounds fun.
That's a good one.
Like a game of telephone, but with art. I think that's genius. That's winning. I know Andrew's probably got some amazing pieces that he could put into the mix and really change it up, because he does some really cool stuff with Firefly too. So yeah, I'm loving those ideas. So we're going to keep those available. But yes, definitely fun idea. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out the meeting for the recording. You guys are welcome to hang out, but thank you again for joining us. We're going to see you back in August 2026, and we appreciate you. Thank you, everybody.